want to talk about Chile for a bit. When I was asked about 91 or 92, something like that, maybe 90, I was asked to promote a concert in the stadium after the defeat or planning the defeat. I don't know which it was, what period we're in. But anyway, Pinochet was coming down and going out. And they wanted, the Chileans of Amnesty wanted me to promote a concert in the stadium where all those people had been arrested, you know, many tortured behind the stands, many killed, and that's where Victor Jara died in that prison. It's called the National Stadium, soccer stadium, and a sacred place to Chile because it's their soccer stadium and they're very proud of it. And so the government was dirtying it with all this torture and so on. So I knew that Henry Kissinger, the United States, had helped Pinochet take power. And I thought that was the dirty hand of Americans. And what I wanted to do was restore the clean hand of the Americans. And the way I thought about that was when Wynton Marsalis called me, and he called me back. I said, "Wynton, I want you to play in Chile for us." He said, "Jack, I'd love to." He said, "Well, I play rock. I don't play rock and roll. I play jazz." And I said, "I know we're going to take a chance, but to tell you the truth, I feel that the United States had a dirty hand in the history of Chile overturning the Allende government and bringing in Pinochet. I'd like them to see the clean hand of America, and that is jazz. And as a leader of the jazz community, you are the leader of that, and I want you to come and represent us because you're the clean hand of America. Because basically, jazz was invented by the black community, not totally black, but to a great degree. And I want the Chileans to see the good hand of the Americans. So I hope you'll come and take a risk. And they did, and they went out there and they played. And then I don't know what it was, but they hit their notes. That stadium, that jazz moved them more than any of all the other bands we had. That stadium just started leaping up and down. It hit on a note and a rhythm, I guess, that Chile had won the World Cup or played in the World Cup or something like that. And it just totally lifted the stadium with a feeling of freedom. And it got across the way Wynton talks about how jazz is democracy. Each piece of the orchestra gets to play, and you work off of others, and he explains all that so beautifully. And so I think in many ways it was a great danger to take because in some place they throw stones and cabbage and tomatoes at the artists if they don't like them. So he went out. There was no trouble whatsoever. But that's why I wanted Wynton in there, aside from his own ability and his great band that he has. I wanted to show off our best, and in some ways, for me, Sting's song, which was beautiful and why we were there and why it was going to be played that way, is that he talked about the past and the present. And it was Pinochet in the old days, Pinochet leaving, and jazz really talked about the future, about democracy and what jazz is. And I think it was a perfect fitting of jazz with Sting's and the Police, just Sting by himself. I think his music. It was a it was an amazing moment. I also want to speak to um, when we finished the concert. Jackson Brown, who's one of our artists there, um, went to the prison and got two journalists and walked them out. That actually happened. I think the press really helped us with that. One of the reasons many people have asked me, why would I take the New Kids on the Block? And my answer is pretty simple, is that they were very immensely popular in Latin America, and we knew that, as well as the United States. And I found that out from their manager. And so I wanted that youthful component because I wanted to draw not only the children of the disappeared, but the children of the military who had controlled that country for 16 years and have them, you know, attend that concert to see what the change meant and really what did the concert mean in terms of freedom for Chile. and what a good spirit was now. Democracy's in and people are happy again instead of moaning and groaning and people going to jail and getting thrown out of helicopters and getting killed. That this was quite a good message. And I think in some sense the new kids on the block, they were seen as lightweights, you know, by the heavier musicians perhaps. But when they got into the press conference, they were heavy as anybody could be. They were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. So I was really pleased to have them in Chile. And when they played, we rocked the stadium. So I went out early when I heard their plane was coming in. I was going out to meet them. Thanks for coming, because I had never met them before except by phone. And I was at the gate, and they announced that the gate was changed to another gate. And I happened to be crossing over, and I had no idea there was already about 300 to 500 14-year-olds streaming at me at 100 miles an hour. I'd have been dead. They were coming full steam to the other, you know, into the announcement that the plane was coming in another gate. And oh my God, I had to run like a demon at 60 some years old. Run like a demon. It's not too fast, but I got out of their way. It was a close call. Honest to God, it was scary. It really was scary. But they were brilliant there. They were wonderful. Glad to have them. They really were pretty special. Mm-hmm.